My name is Leo, and I was a co-driver. My driver was Clara. A week ago, during a major international race, she deliberately ignored my instructions and sent our car flying off a hillside. The crash left her with 2 broken legs, ending her career. On the very day she was released from the hospital, she checked into a hotel room and took her own life, slitting her wrists. She left a suicide note, a page filled with venomous accusations aimed directly at me. The words were written with such anguish it was as if they were penned in blood. Leo, why did you give me the wrong directions? You ruined my life. That note was all it took. I found myself on a foreign street, surrounded by her obsessive fans, being beaten to death with a cold, heavy metal rod. It was only in those final, agonizing moments that I understood. She had done all of this to avenge the person she loved. She had always resented me for taking the co-driver position from him, a decision that led to him being placed in another car, a car that would end up in a fatal crash, destroying not only his life but his reputation. When I opened my eyes again, I wasn't in an alleyway bleeding out. I was sitting in our race car the day before Clara's very first professional race. This time, when Clara demanded to switch co-drivers at the last minute, I didn't try to stop her. It was strange, though. In the future, that never happened. She eventually came to regret it. I remembered her, right before that final international race, pleading with me, her voice uncharacteristically humble. Leo, look at us. We're meant to be an unbeatable team. I just want to change my co-driver, why can't I? Don't I have the right to choose my own? Clara was standing in front of the car, arguing with our team coach. He had a deep frown etched on his face, clearly at the end of his patience. Changing co-drivers the day before a race affects you too, Clara. Leo's been training with you, doing trial runs with you for the past few days. Your new guy doesn't even know the track. How are you supposed to race tomorrow? Listen to me, run this race with Leo, and we can discuss switching co-drivers afterward. I sat in the car, watching the familiar scene unfold through the window, feeling a little dazed. I was back. In my previous life, Clara had done the exact same thing, arguing with the coach to replace me with Ethan, a rookie who had just been recruited to the team. She'd had a crush on Ethan for a while, and this was her way of getting close to him. But for the sake of the race, the coach hadn't agreed. I had also tried to reason with her, promising we could discuss the switch after the race was over, that I had no objections to stepping aside later. She didn't appreciate my input. She accused me of trying to cling to the position, of wasting time so she couldn't make the change she wanted. Frustrated, she insisted on the switch, declaring it was non-negotiable. Ultimately, faced with a severe reprimand from the coach and the threat of being pulled from the race entirely, Clara had reluctantly abandoned her impulsive idea. For the good of the team, I didn't say anything more about it. The next day, Clara entered the race full of pent-up energy, driving with an aggressive edge. Fortunately, our coordination was still solid, and we managed to win the championship. From that day forward, Clara's incredible talent began to shine, and she embarked on her path to racing stardom. After the win, she cheerfully went to find Ethan, trophy in hand. But by then, Ethan had already chosen another driver from the team as his partner. He touched the gleaming trophy, a polite smile on his face as he spoke to us. Clara, Leo's been with you for so long. He's much better suited for you than I am. Since he enjoys being your co-driver, let him continue. I'm still new, and I don't want to compete with him. Ethan even confidently declared that in the next team race, he and his new teammate would defeat Clara and me, leaving it as a challenge to be settled on the track. The tragedy that shaped everything followed during that very race. Ethan and his teammate went off a slope and crashed violently into a tree. Ethan died on impact, and his teammate was left paralyzed from the waist down. A subsequent investigation revealed that the crash was entirely Ethan's fault. He had realized after the race started that he'd forgotten his pace notes but lied to his teammate, claiming he had memorized the track. This led to a series of wrong directions and, ultimately, the fatal accident. But Ethan was gone, and with his death, all responsibility seemed to vanish with him. Clara struggled for a long time to recover from the loss. She became quiet and withdrawn, throwing herself completely into her racing. She went on to win countless world championships, becoming a legend. Before every single race, she had only one request. Her co-driver had to be me. Everyone saw us as the perfect duo in the racing world, a partnership envied by many. Over time, through the intensity of our shared experiences, I gradually developed feelings for her too. But I always felt like something was wrong. Something unspoken, simmering just beneath the surface. Then, that fateful international race arrived. Before we started, Clara sat in the driver's seat, looking at me with an unnerving calm. "This is the last trophy I'm getting for Ethan. Today is the anniversary of his death. I don't want to keep doing this." I was skimming through my notes, not wanting to engage with her dark mood. "Clara, focus on the race." She said nothing more, turning to stare out the window. But during the race, everything spun out of control. Clara completely ignored my calls about the track conditions, driving recklessly toward a dangerous slope and taking me down with her. The car rolled several times before finally coming to a stop. Her legs were shattered, leaving her permanently disabled. I hit my head and was unconscious for a long time. The day I finally woke up in the hospital, I learned that Clara had taken her own life. Her handwritten suicide note had also been made public, filled with damning accusations against me. "Leo, I asked you countless times if you were confident about this race, and you laughed it off, saying it was no big deal. Maybe the many championships we won before made us complacent. You never took this race seriously. During the race, I followed your instructions completely. I trusted you as my closest partner. Why did you give me the wrong road information? Because I trusted you. I drove off the slope, breaking my legs and becoming disabled. Racing is my whole life, Leo. Because of you, I can't race anymore. You ruined my life. Your carelessness and arrogance destroyed both of us." Everyone who read it was furious with me. Even though I couldn't fully comprehend why Clara would do such a thing, I wasn't overly concerned by the public criticism. I figured I could easily clear my name by releasing the in-car recordings from that day. But I never got the chance. The day after I was released from the hospital, I was cornered and beaten to death by her fanatical supporters on a foreign street. Before I died, I remembered Clara's last words to me as we crashed. "Leo, do you regret being my co-driver? Remember, you owed this to Ethan." It turned out that everything she did, twisting the truth, taking her own life, was because she obsessively blamed me for what had happened to Ethan. She wanted to get back at me. Even though the car accident hadn't killed me as it had killed him, she was determined to ruin my reputation with her death. The iron rod came crashing down on my head, and the intense pain caused me to gradually lose consciousness. I was sure I was a goner, but when I opened my eyes again, I was back on that same day. I took a moment to calm my slightly rushed breathing, a result of my dizzying excitement. I opened the car door and stepped out. Clara glanced over at me, her expression a little annoyed. "Coach," I said, standing opposite Clara and continuing her thought. "If Clara wants to switch co-drivers, then let's switch. She should know better than anyone else who the best fit for her is—" Clara looked at me again, clearly surprised by how easily I had conceded. "Leo, are you sure?" I shrugged nonchalantly. "Sure, I also think we're not a good fit. I was going to talk to the coach about it myself later, even if you hadn't brought it up today. Since we're on the same page, we might as well part ways amicably." Since fate had granted me a second chance, there was no reason to waste any more time on Clara. The team was full of skilled drivers. Every one of them was gifted. My career, my life? It wasn't as if I couldn't make a name for myself without her. The coach looked troubled, rubbing his brow. "But what about tomorrow's race?" Seeing the coach was about to use the race as his main argument, Clara quickly interrupted. "Coach, I told you, I'm confident. I don't even need a co-driver. I remember the course myself. As long as Ethan is by my side, I can slowly get used to him. If you're still worried, Leo can lend his route notes to Ethan, right? Leo won't be running that track tomorrow anyway." She turned to me. "Leo, what do you think?" I had to laugh. What do I think? I think your imagination is just a little too rich. I didn't say anything else, just smiled and turned to retrieve my hard-earned notebook from the car. Clara raised an eyebrow in triumph, ready to reach out for the notes. Instead, I tore the notebook to shreds right in front of her. I think with the skills you and Ethan have, using someone else's notes would be underestimating you both, wouldn't it? Clara was stunned for a moment. Then her face flushed with irritation, and she looked like she was about to explode. The coach sighed, rubbing his temples as if his headache was getting worse. Leo, why are you causing a scene just like Clara? I offered a soft smile. Coach, we're not causing a scene. You have to trust Clara. This is her first big event. Do you really think she would gamble with her future? Besides, her future has nothing to do with me. I don't care if she's causing a scene or not. With that, I turned and walked away, waving over my shoulder. All right, you all discuss it then. I won't be at the race tomorrow. I'm going to find a new teammate. Just as I was about to really leave, Clara unexpectedly called out, her voice laced with arrogance. Leo, playing hard to get doesn't work on me. I rolled my eyes quietly. Clara, do you really think you're such a prize that I'd play hard to get with you? Without looking back, I kept walking. You're overthinking it. I just need a co-driver. Do you feel up for it? I hadn't taken more than a few steps when someone called out to me. When I turned, it was her. If I remembered correctly, her name was Maya. She was the one who had been paralyzed because of Ethan's mistake in my past life. The coach had felt immense regret for her back then, because her talent was in no way inferior to Clara's. She was supposed to race tomorrow, but her co-driver had quit at the last minute, forcing her to give up her spot, which had conveniently allowed Ethan to step in. The coach came over. Maya, you and Leo teaming up could work. Leo, how about it? Most of the drivers and co-drivers are already paired up in the team now. If you're sure about splitting with Clara, then I suggest teaming up with Maya. I thought for a moment. I didn't know much about Maya. My only contact with her in my past life was visiting her after the accident, representing the team. I remembered a frail girl in loose pajamas, sitting by a window and staring at the sunset, her body shrouded in shadows. She was completely different from the vibrant person standing before me now. She had seemed so lifeless. It looked like it wasn't just me who got a second chance. She did too. I suddenly felt that on this team, other than Clara, Maya really was the most suitable partner for me now. So, I agreed readily. Sounds good. No sooner had the words left my mouth than Clara rushed over and grabbed my arm, her expression incredulous. Leo, so you had another plan in place all along, just waiting for me to propose breaking up first, huh? I was thinking about how tomorrow's race reflects on the team's honor. I figured we shouldn't act out of spite, so you're just my partner for now. Any change should wait until after the race. I was speechless. Why hadn't I noticed Clara's shamelessness before? She could twist any situation to her favor. I yanked my arm free from her grip and said coldly, "Let go, Clara. I'm just your partner, not your possession. What makes you think you can summon me at will? We agreed your co-driver switch to Ethan was your call, so why are you meddling with me now?" I didn't want things to get ugly with her. We were on the same team, after all, and couldn't avoid seeing each other. But she kept pushing. Clara was defeated, holding on to my arm and forcibly pulling me back toward her. Leo, can you stop being so unreasonable? Tomorrow's race isn't just about you. We're all striving for it. Now's not the time for a tantrum. I frowned, about to lose my temper. Clara really knew how to twist a story, acting as if I was the one who insisted on switching co-drivers for personal gain right before a race. The coach wanted to intervene, but Maya grabbed Clara's wrist first, making her let go of me. Maya smiled boldly. "Sorry, my partner asked you to let him go." I was surprised. Maya was already backing me up like this. Clara was furious, clutching her wrist and spewing venom at Maya. "Who do you think you are? What business do you have in my and Leo's affairs? He's my partner. This is between us. Why are you butting in? Maya looked a bit speechless at that phrasing, and I couldn't help but laugh at Clara's shameless comment. Clara, can you please stop being so gross? You're the one who wanted to switch navigators, and now you're keeping me from leaving. What do you want? Do you want Ethan to race with you while I stubbornly hang on, waiting for you so you can flaunt your amazing charm? Do you think you're in a TV drama or something? Or that we're in some kind of romantic relationship? We just broke up, remember? You suggested it, and I agreed. We have no connection now, and I won't be your partner anymore. Please face reality, okay? It seemed like we were about to have a full-blown argument, and the coach quickly stepped in to defuse the situation. All right, that's enough. I'll decide from now on. Clara teams up with Ethan and Leo with Maya. Clara, come with me to discuss tomorrow's race with Ethan. Leo, you and Maya can start working things out, okay? I didn't feel like talking to Clara any further. I gave Maya a look and followed her as we left the training area. Clara called out loudly from behind us. Leo, she can't compare to me. You'll regret your choice today. Regret? What a joke. If I had repeated the mistakes of my past life, that would have been the only real regret. After leaving Clara, Maya and I got back to the club. Maya pulled a drink from the fridge, took a sip, and handed me a bottle. I accepted it and heard her ask, Are you sure you want to be my navigator? I looked up and nodded. Yeah, I'm sure. But I'm curious, why did you pick me? Leaning back against the table, Maya smirked at me. Because I think you're a beam of light in the dark. As she spoke, a breeze lifted the curtain, and sunlight spilled onto her hair. In that moment, she seemed like a beam of light herself, bright and radiant. I chuckled and teased. What a strange metaphor. Have I saved your life or something? Maya raised an eyebrow. Maybe you have. This girl was keeping the real reason to herself, huh? But it didn't matter to me. I just hoped that my teammate this time wouldn't let me down like Clara had. I raised my drink like a toast and clinked it with Maya's. No more jokes, my good partner. Now that we've chosen each other, here's to us rocking those competitions in the future. Maya stared for a moment before pinching my cheek. Yeah, let's rock it. The sudden motion left me a little flustered, my face warming up. I blinked in surprise, thinking, wow, she's pretty friendly. The next day was Clara's race. I wasn't keen on seeing it, but the coach, seeing Maya and me lounging at the club, dragged us along to watch with him. Maya didn't refuse, so I went along. At the starting line, Clara showed up holding Ethan's arm. With a frown, she shot us a look, then pulled me aside, grabbing my arm. Leo, mark my words. I'll be the champion today. She seemed incredibly confident. I nodded without any expression. I believe you. Her skills were undeniable, even if her personality left much to be desired. She had been the champion in this very race in my last life. I saw no reason to argue with a predetermined outcome. Surprised by my flat response, Clara asked, Then why aren't you my navigator? Why choose someone who can't even compete? If I win, Ethan shares the glory with me. That could have been yours. Huffing, she asked, Aren't you regretting it? I was getting annoyed, tired of this ongoing mess with her. You're the one who wanted to switch navigators, right? Caught off guard, she admitted. Yeah, I didn't think you were good enough. Then stop bothering me. I don't think you're so great either, nor do I care about your glory or have anything to regret. You think you'll always be on top? In the long run, I chuckled, leaning closer. Sure, you might be gifted, but there are plenty of talented people out there working hard. Be careful not to put yourself on too high a pedestal, or you'll tumble and become a joke. She hadn't even won yet. What was there to brag about? I thought Clara was pretty full of herself. Clara wanted to keep arguing, but the race was about to start, and Ethan dragged her away. What did you have to say to him? Ethan asked. Sorry, Ethan. He insisted on talking. Their voices faded as they walked away. I headed back to the viewing area, staring blankly at the track. But after the race, The coach didn't seem as thrilled as he had in the last life. Clara had finished third. That was unlike her. How did that happen? Did my decision to not follow the script of my past life and be Clara's navigator change things, causing a butterfly effect? Maya seemed to notice my confusion, and she explained. On the third track segment, it should have been a right 4 to left 5. Clara memorized it as left 4 to right 5. She nearly crashed off the track. Her navigator wasn't familiar enough with her style to steer her right. It's a pity. Still, finishing third shows her skill. She just needs to dial back her ego a bit. I nodded, agreeing with Maya. I never saw Clara after that. Maybe her bragging, with nothing to show for it, left her too embarrassed to face me. But Ethan seemed pretty happy anyway. The first time she participated in a competition, Clara came in third despite some mistakes. This shows her natural talent and bright future. I chose the right partner. He walked up to us proudly with his trophy. Just like last time, he challenged me again, only this time our partners were switched. Leo, Clara really is something else. As your partner, or I should say, former partner, even though you ditched her and didn't want to participate in today's race with her, she still managed to snag third place on her own. So, how about next month's rally? Do you dare to race against us? Clara and I are going to take that championship, no doubt about it. A rally race. The same race where Ethan's life might be on the line. I watched him quietly. All right, see you at the track, I said. Since the outcome might change, I hoped he wouldn't end up like last time, causing a tragedy for both himself and Clara. After Clara participated in the race, although she didn't take the spotlight as the champion like last time, snagging third place with her unique racing style still gave her and Ethan a bit of a buzz in the racing circle. After all, for a newcomer, getting such a result in a big event right off the bat is pretty impressive. This also drew a lot of attention to them during the subsequent rally race. It was the first event Maya and I teamed up for. After a month of practice and adjusting, it was finally time to see the results. Before the race, I bumped into Clara at the lounge. It was the first time I'd seen her in a month. I had spent most of my time training with Maya, not hanging around the club. Clara seemed to be avoiding me too, which was fine with me. I didn't want to interact with her more than necessary. I glanced at her, ready to leave. Just as I turned, I heard her voice. Leo. I turned around. Clara was lounging on the couch in her racing suit, legs crossed, looking at me with a laid-back attitude. How's it going with Maya these past months? Is driving with her as easy as it was with me? Pretty much, I replied, turning to leave again. I didn't want to get into it with her, but Clara got up, stepping ahead of me to shut the door. Why just pretty much? Leo, can she match the chemistry we had? Why couldn't she? I looked straight at Clara, speaking calmly. Clara, Ethan is your partner now. You should focus on your synergy with him rather than worrying about my team-up with Maya. Clara paused, then broke into a smile. Why are you bringing up Ethan, Leo? Are you still jealous? I was speechless. What are you talking about? Clara arched her brow. Leo, I know you like me, right? Ever since you started racing, you've been by my side. Eating, sleeping, racing together every day. Considering how amazing I am, it's understandable you might have developed feelings. She continued, but I've known Ethan for a long time. He used to be my crush. Maybe it's love unfulfilled, but I still thought I liked him. She hesitated. When I heard he became a navigator and joined our team, I impulsively asked the coach to let him replace you. I was just chasing love and didn't expect you'd care so much. You, usually so gentle, got mad at me and even picked a new partner just to spite me. You were obviously jealous. And me, I'm just soft-hearted. Seeing you like that made me want to give you another chance to be my navigator, but you're too stubborn to see what I really meant, still arguing with me. Clara lowered her head a bit and stepped closer. After a month with Ethan, I realized I might be stuck on a childhood crush. He's not even half as good as you. He's dumb and slow, not qualified to be my navigator. You're the one who fits best. Let's not fight anymore, okay? I had just discovered how completely self-centered Clara is. If she had said these words to me in my last life, perhaps I would have struggled to reply. But considering we had barely known each other for over a year now, why on earth would she think I have feelings for her? Self-confidence is one thing. Narcissism is another. I can tell you clearly, it's not jealousy or anger. Partnering with Maya was a decision I made after careful consideration. I have no leftover feelings for you and no interest in you and Ethan's history. I'm not messing around with you. I just want to team up with Maya and do our best in the race. Leo, are you in here? Maya's voice came from outside. I pushed past Clara and opened the door, seeing Maya standing there. Ethan peeked from behind her. He looked disgruntled upon seeing us in the lounge together. What were you two doing in there? Chatting, I replied with a straight face as I walked out, nudging Maya. Let's go to the track. Maya nodded and followed. As we passed Ethan, I asked, Did you bring your pace notes? Who do you take me for, Leo? Like I'd make such a rookie mistake, Ethan muttered, rummaging through his bag to show me the notes. Moments later, he stopped moving, his face turning pale. I figured it out. Even with a different partner, Ethan had forgotten his pace notes again. Clara sneered. You really forgot them, Ethan? It's a professional race. Be professional and take your job seriously. Stop it. I'll go back for it. There's still time. Ethan huffed, running off past us. Clara, likely embarrassed, trailed after him. Watching them leave, I shook my head, smirking, only to catch Maya giving me a thoughtful look. What? I asked. Maya smiled. You're kind. Let's just see if they appreciate it. I tilted my head, pretending to be calm. I just asked casually. Who knew he really didn't bring it? No, you know, Maya said. I paused and looked at her, testing the waters. Know what? Maya kept smiling but didn't answer. Instead, she pointed outside. Let's go, the race is about to start. We should head to the track. As she walked away, I started to worry. Did Maya know something? There was something off about the way she had so suddenly asked me to be her navigator. Before this, she didn't even know me, and we had basically never interacted. How could she have known Clara would want to change her navigator at that exact time and place? How did she just casually show up there and then choose me? Adding what she just said, could it be? An unbelievable thought popped into my head. Could Maya have been reborn? Just like me? The race was about to start, so I pushed aside these thoughts and joined Maya in the car. I flipped through the route book, taking a deep breath. Go, Maya, go. A staff member stood in front of the car, and as he finished the countdown, Maya released the brake and hit the gas. I got my head in the game, doing my job diligently. Straight 100 meters to right 6, long hairpin, then straight 20 meters, straight 30 meters, left 3 long, followed by right 3 long 90 degrees, straight 50 meters 2, right 3 long 90 degrees, straight 200 meters 2, right 3 90 degrees, close. Perfect. As Maya crossed the finish line, our first race together ended seamlessly. I gave her a thumbs up. Great teamwork. Maya joked back, great command. After the race, we bumped into Clara and Ethan. With no surprises or mistakes this time, Clara took first place, just like in my previous life. Maya and I got third. This result didn't surprise me. Maya is talented, but she can't yet surpass Clara, whose raw talent is unmatched. Hard work is the only way for the rest of us to keep up. We were simply starting from different places. I comforted Maya. Don't feel down. The road ahead is long, and all we need to do is grow at our own pace. Maya smiled, ruffling my hair. No worries. Being able to drive again is a blessing. From her eyes, I saw her love for racing and her gratitude for getting another chance. She was reborn, just like me. Ethan showed off his trophy, while Clara casually glanced at me. Leo, not a great choice, huh? I kept my cool and looked at Clara. Yeah, or else I wouldn't have chosen you as my partner in the first place. She missed my sarcasm and laughed. Oh, regretting it? Why does she always ask if I regret it? Talking to her is futile, so I rolled my eyes and left with Maya. That night, we went out for a meal to celebrate our first race together. Sitting at the table, we dreamt of the future. This is just the beginning. We're third now, but one day we'll be second, then first, and we'll get that Champions Cup. Cheers to our partnership. Always fun? Maya replied sweetly, wiping the corner of my mouth with a napkin. As our eyes met, I couldn't help but notice how pretty Maya was. Absorbed in my thoughts, I'd almost forgotten myself. Maya broke into a laugh under my gaze. Don't look at me like that, you're scaring me. My face flushed instantly. I'd probably had too much to drink. Feeling dizzy, I blinked and rested my head on the table, closing my eyes. The next morning, I woke up in an unfamiliar place with no memory of the previous night. I tend to black out when I drink. I panicked, got up, and noticed my clothes were intact, which was a relief. Walking out, I saw Maya cooking porridge in the kitchen. Only then did I recognize this as Maya's place, where I'd been before. You're awake. Have some porridge, Maya said, bringing a bowl to the table. Sheepishly, I asked, I'm not a great drinker. I didn't do anything crazy last night, did I? Maya smiled and shook her head. No, you're fine. Relaxed, I just picked up my bowl when the phone rang. It was the coach asking us to come to the club. One look at Maya, and we knew something was up with the team. Rushing over, we found out that after the race, another team, with their eyes on Clara's talent, had lured her away with a lucrative offer. Now, Clara was breaking her contract with us, and Ethan was going with her. The coach asked me to talk to Clara, hoping I could persuade her to stay. But I had no interest. This was Clara's choice, and I had no right or desire to interfere. I couldn't convince myself I had the power to make her stay. Maya stepped in, seeing my reluctance. Coach, after all that's happened, do you really think Leo can get Clara to come back with just a few words? Someone willing to betray the team after a little success isn't worth the effort. Asking Leo to do this only puts him in a tough spot. Please don't overlook Leo in the pursuit of retaining Clara. The coach sighed, acknowledging his oversight. Clara and Ethan eventually left the team, with their new team covering their high termination fees. On a regular afternoon, I ran into Clara, who was going back to her old team to get some things. By then, she had already competed in a bunch of races, both big and small. Even when she didn't win, she still did pretty well. Her attitude was still smug as she looked at me with a hint of disdain. Leo, she started. A genius gets admiration anywhere. Why give up on staying with me for someone so ordinary? Come back, be my navigator, and I'll ditch Ethan on the spot. I stayed quiet, just looking past Clara. Ethan was standing right there, and the two of them launched into a fiery argument. I rubbed my ears and got out of there, leaving the drama behind me. After that day, it felt like I was back in the old days of racing hard with Clara, only now Maya was my new partner. We ate, trained, rested, and raced together. Step by step, we earned our own championship. For a long time after, it was mostly Maya and Clara fighting for first place, constantly one-upping each other. But after that incident, Ethan was released from his new team and didn't race with Clara again. Clara kept swapping navigators, never seeming satisfied with any of them. Then, the night before a big international race, Clara somehow figured out my room number. Pretending to be hotel staff, she barged into my room before I even realized what was happening. Clutching my shoulders, she demanded, "Leo, why won't you come back to me? Yes, I suggested you leave at first, but I've apologized so many times. Why won't you listen? You obviously care." She went on, "Why else would you get so upset seeing me with Ethan? I've already cut Ethan loose. What more do you want? Why won't you be my navigator again?" Her expression was wild, almost desperate. Suddenly, she changed her tone, begging on her knees, Leo, look at me, please. We're meant to be an unbreakable team. Why choose Maya? What's so great about her? I figured Clara must be losing it. I pushed her away hard with my foot. You've only ever seen me as an accessory, I told her. Something you can get by without but expect to follow you forever. You don't genuinely want me back. You're just mad I chose Maya over you. A genius getting ditched is quite the joke, isn't it? You remember what I told you before? Maybe you're talented, but you're not the only one. And many more talented people work harder than you. Haven't you noticed? You're about to be outpaced by Maya. She's won every race against you these past 6 months. Want to know why I chose Maya? I asked. She never saw me as replaceable. She considered me an irreplaceable teammate, sharing in both triumph and failure. While talking, I'd already called Maya. She showed up quickly and had someone escort Clara out. You all right? She asked. I nodded. Yeah, I'm good. Get some rest, she said before leaving. Once I went back to bed, despite Clara's drama, nothing could shake us on race day. Maya and I exchanged a confident smile in the car, ready to win it all. During the race, Maya's car door malfunctioned. She had to hold it shut with one hand and drive with the other. Maya furrowed her brow. Help me shift, she asked. Got it, I replied calmly. I handled the shifts and the handbrake when needed, and together we conquered the course. We won the world championship and stood at the top, inseparable. Meanwhile, Clara ranked way down in the tens, unnoticed. Emotionally low, she seemed to give up racing afterward. She had once said racing was her whole life. No one ruined her life but herself. Later, I curiously asked Maya if she had a second chance at life too. Her paralysis from a past life was still vivid in my mind. I had visited her on what was supposed to be her last day alive. My visit had prolonged her life. I had told her, cheer up. The pomegranates back home are really sweet. When they're ripe next year, I'll pick some for you. Maya sighed, resting her chin on her hand. Liar. I waited for years, but you never brought me those pomegranates. I laughed, feeling a sense of release. Sorry, I'll book a ticket and take you home to pick them tomorrow. How's that?